Hello, English learners. Welcome to the podcast Your English Always Better. I'm Charlie, and I'm here with Jennifer to talk about an incredible method of learning English, virtual travels.
Exactly, Charlie. Today we're going to explore how to use the internet and other resources to make virtual trips to English-speaking countries, immersing ourselves in the culture and language simultaneously.
First of all, it's important to say that, if possible, nothing beats a real trip for learning a language. But we know that's not always feasible, right, Jennifer?
Absolutely, Charles. That's why virtual travels are a fantastic alternative. They allow you to explore English-speaking countries without leaving home, using the internet, books, and other resources.
And the best part is that you can do this at your own pace. Jennifer, how about we explain how it works in practice?
Basically, you choose an English-speaking destination and start exploring virtually. This can include researching online tourist routes, watching videos about the place, reading travel blogs, and much more.
That's right. For example, if you decide to virtually visit London, you can start by watching a virtual tour of Buckingham Palace with English narration. What else would you suggest, Jennifer?
Additionally, you can read about London's history on museum websites, like the British Museum. Or how about exploring the famous Borough Market through travel vlogs on YouTube?
Excellent. And we can't forget about social media. Following profiles of locals or tourists in London can give an authentic view of life in the city.
Without a doubt. Another tip is to look for English podcasts about the city. Many offer audio tours that you can listen to while looking at photos or online maps.
And for those who prefer printed materials, English travel guides are great resources. They usually bring valuable cultural information and location-specific vocabulary.
The idea is to immerse yourself in the culture and language as if you were really there. Charles, do you think we could give an example of how to structure one of these virtual trips?
Sure. Let's imagine a week exploring New York virtually. On the first day, you could start with a virtual tour of Central Park, noting down vocabulary related to nature and leisure.
Great start. On the second day, how about exploring New York cuisine? You can watch videos of recipes for typical dishes like the famous New York cheesecake, practicing food and cooking vocabulary.
Perfect. On the third day, you could focus on history, maybe reading about the Statue of Liberty on museum websites or watching documentaries about immigration in the USA.
For the fourth day, I suggest exploring the art scene. Many museums, like MoMA, offer virtual tours. It's a great opportunity to learn about art in English.
On the fifth day, how about some pop culture? You can watch clips from TV series set in New York, paying attention to the local accent and slang.
Great idea. For the sixth day, I suggest focusing on music. New York has a rich music scene. You can listen to jazz, hip-hop, or Broadway musicals, analyzing the lyrics in English.
And to close the week, on the seventh day, how about planning an itinerary as if you were really going to visit the city? Use English travel websites to create your ideal itinerary.
This approach offers a complete and varied experience.
Jennifer, how about we now virtually explore a bit of Italy? This way, our listeners will have even more examples of how to do virtual travels.
Great idea, Charles. Italy is a fascinating destination, rich in history, art, and culture. Where do you suggest we start?
how about we start with Rome? A great way to begin would be with a virtual tour of the Colosseum. There are several websites that offer 360-degree visits with English audio.
Excellent suggestion. Listeners can learn vocabulary related to Roman architecture and ancient history. And how about complementing it with an English documentary about gladiators?
Perfect. Then, we can travel to Florence. The Uffizi Museum has an incredible virtual tour. It's a unique opportunity to learn about Renaissance art in English.
I love the idea. And to practice even more, listeners can try describing in English the paintings they liked the most, as if they were guiding a tour.
Great speaking exercise. Now, thinking about Italian cuisine, how about we virtually explore some famous markets?
Sure. The Central Market of Florence has great videos on YouTube. Listeners can learn food vocabulary, numbers, and even useful phrases for shopping in English.
And we can't forget about Venice. There are virtual gondola rides available online. It's a fun way to learn about the unique geography of the city.
And to practice listening comprehension, how about listening to English podcasts about the history of Venice and its legends?
Now, for fashion lovers, could we suggest a virtual visit to Milan, right?
There are several videos and articles in English about Milan Fashion Week. It's a great way to learn vocabulary related to fashion and trends.
And for sports fans, how about virtually exploring the San Siro Stadium? Many teams offer virtual tours on their official websites.
Listeners can learn terms related to football and the history of famous Italian teams.
To wrap up our virtual trip to Italy, how about visiting the Amalfi Coast?
Perfect. There are several English travel vlogs showing the beautiful landscapes and coastal cities. It's a great opportunity to learn vocabulary related to geography and tourism.
And we can't forget to recommend some Italian movies with English subtitles. It's an excellent way to familiarize yourself with the culture and improve listening comprehension.
To finish, I suggest that listeners create a virtual travel itinerary for Italy, describing in English the places they would like to visit and why.
Excellent suggestion, Jennifer. This will help consolidate all the vocabulary and knowledge acquired during this virtual trip to Italy.
Now, how about we talk about how to create a perfect study schedule using this method?
We recommend dedicating at least 1 hour a day to your virtual trip. Start with 15 minutes of new vocabulary, followed by 30 minutes of cultural immersion through videos or readings, and finish with 15 minutes of oral practice, repeating phrases or describing what you've learned.
And don't forget to keep an English travel diary. Write down new words, interesting expressions, and your impressions of what you've discovered.
Now, it's important to talk about some common mistakes to avoid. One of them is getting stuck only with tourist vocabulary. It's important to explore everyday language as well.
This helps to reinforce learning. Another mistake is not practicing pronunciation. Whenever possible, repeat out loud what you hear in videos or podcasts, imitating the local accent.
And we can't forget to mention the importance of being consistent. It's better to dedicate a little time every day than to have long sporadic sessions.
Consistency is key. And speaking of results, what can our listeners expect by following this learning method?
Well, besides significantly improving vocabulary and listening comprehension, they'll develop a deeper understanding of English-speaking cultures. This makes learning more contextualized and memorable.
Absolutely. And we can't forget about the intercultural skills that will be developed. This is crucial in today's globalized world.
To wrap up, what message would you leave for our listeners, Jennifer?
I would say, embark on this adventure with enthusiasm. Learning English through virtual travels is not only effective, but also incredibly fun. Explore, be curious, and above all, enjoy this learning journey.
Wonderful! And remember, folks, the world is literally at your fingertips. Use technology to your advantage to travel virtually and improve your English. Remember that it's always important to maintain consistency in learning English, and listening to podcasts frequently is a great way to improve your level of comprehension of the English language. Now, let's present some words that appeared in the dialogue to help you improve your vocabulary. First word. Language. Meaning, a system of communication used by a community, including words, gestures, and symbols. Example: sign language is essential for communication among deaf people. Itinerary. Meaning, a detailed plan or route of a journey, including destinations, routes, and schedules. Example: our itinerary for Europe includes visits to Paris, Rome, and London. Accent. Meaning, a distinctive way of pronouncing words, characteristic of a particular region, country, or social group. Example: the Southern accent is easily recognizable anywhere in the United States.
Wait, it's not over yet. Suggestions for other podcasts for you to listen to and accelerate your English learning will appear here on the screen. That's it. And if you like this podcast, take the opportunity to like the video. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to always be notified of new videos. Thank you very much for being here. See you in the next video.